And it's interesting because when you're trying to establish something globally, you have all those different cultures you're working with, and you want to make sure you involve everybody in every decision to try to collaborate. You're gonna move in a certain direction, but the collaboration is important because people gotta feel like it's their own. If it comes out of one area of a globe and gets disseminated, it feels like it's a push. People have to feel like they're involved. The other big thing when you're trying to do something globally, and we've learned on lean sides, we want a lot of the terminology that people use is driven by lean terminology. If companies can absorb that and use terminology that's maybe a little more unique to them, so instead of using the term Kaizen, they can use other terminology to make it more of their own. So people get involved. It's still a Kaizen, but you can use different terminology for that company, and then people around the globe feel we've created this. Again, you're going through the same lean principles, but it's a way to get people involved, it's a way to collaborate, and then people own it, because again, you don't want to push things out, because then people don't feel like they're a part of the solution. Yeah, I think the most successful rollouts that we've had is when we provide the true ownership to team members in the production areas. And what we try to do is break down the key KPIs, the key process indicators, into PIs that the team member truly can own, what makes sense to them, what they're dealing with every single minute of every single day in their shift. And when they take that ownership and when they truly can absorb that, that's where we see the biggest value. Now, as we start to get certain information to them, so when a PI goes red and we want them to react, we gotta have the proper documentation for them. We want them to quickly react. That documentation has to be developed. It has to be dynamic also, meaning that if the documentation that I'm using isn't sufficient to solve that problem, well, we do an RCA, we do some type of root cause analysis, and then we change the documentation. So now the next person doesn't have to deal with the same problem. That's key. I think also adding videos, because the new workforce wants to be able to react off of videos. When I have a problem in my car, I go on YouTube and I'm looking for a video that tells me how to do it. That's what people want today. So I think as we incorporate more videos into those SOPs and those reaction plans, the workforce really absorbs that. Yeah, I think we all want the newest thing, the newest technologies, but you have to start with some basics. And again, as you try to give ownership to a team member, they have to have the basic technologies of ownership. And we start with documentation. Documentation has to be there first, and then we can build on that. We can build on giving them more information. But if we don't start with some basic things of, hey, how do I track my performance indicator on my line or my process indicator? How do I really know how to react to quality? Then we can start giving some advanced information. We can start giving them some cost of quality or cost of ownership of what they're doing, because we want them to evolve, but you have to start with the basics. If we start jumping at some new technologies before you have a lot of the fundamentals, it could backfire.